Hello and welcome to the builders of the Mystic Circle for Al-Anon members, a community dedicated to supporting those affected by a loved one's addiction. If you've stumbled upon this video, you're either seeking understanding or looking for ways to cope, and you've come to the right place. We are here to provide guidance, share experiences, and above all, offer hope. This platform aims to help you navigate the complex world of addiction, dispel misconceptions, and learn how to better communicate with the addict in your life. If you find this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. Together, we can build a circle of strength and understanding. Now, let's dive into the world of Al-Anon and begin the journey towards healing and acceptance. Have you ever wondered why someone you love can't seem to break free from the chains of addiction? I used to wrestle with this question, believing that addiction was a lifestyle choice, not a disease. I had the misconception that the addict in my life could just decide to stop their destructive behavior. This misunderstanding led to a communication breakdown between us, escalating into serious disagreements and even physical injuries. I was in this fog of confusion, frustration, and hurt, unable to separate the person I cared about from their addiction. I was stuck in this loop of blame and resentment, unaware that my viewpoint was fundamentally flawed. But then, a professional recommended Al-Anon to me, and my journey towards understanding began. A journey that would change not only my perception of addiction, but also how I interacted with the addict in my life. Little did I know my perception was about to be radically altered. A conversation with a professional would soon turn my world upside down. You see, in the midst of the turmoil, a professional suggested something I hadn't considered before: Al-Anon. The words hung in the air, an unfamiliar term that held a promise of hope. But what was Al-Anon? A glimmer of curiosity sparked within me. Was this the path to understanding, the key to unlock the mystery that had clouded my relationships? I soon found myself immersed in a community where my struggles were echoed, where my experiences were mirrored. The meetings were a revelation, a platform for sharing, for seeking solace, and most importantly, for learning. Studying and applying the Al-Anon tools became my compass, guiding me through the stormy seas of addiction. The fog of misconception lifted, revealing the stark reality of addiction as a disease, not a choice. This profound understanding was a wake-up call, a moment of epiphany that reshaped my perspective. And so my journey to understanding began. Al-Anon meetings became my sanctuary, a place where I could learn, share, and grow. It was here that I began to see the world through a new lens. My previous misunderstanding of addiction started to fade as I listened to others share their experiences, their struggles, and their triumphs. Through their stories, I could see my own reflected back at me, and I realized that I was not alone in my journey. I began to study the tools that Al-Anon provided, delving into the complexities of addiction. I discovered that it wasn't a matter of willpower as I had previously thought, but a disease. A disease that was part physical, part emotional, and completely out of the control of the person suffering from it. This realization was a game changer. It shifted my perspective, allowing me to separate the person I cared about from the disease they were battling. With this newfound understanding, I was able to approach my relationship with the addict in my life differently. I learned to set loving boundaries, to protect myself while still showing compassion for them. I saw that their behavior was not a reflection of their character, but the result of a disease they were fighting against. This journey through Al-Anon has been transformative. It has helped me grow, not just in understanding addiction, but also in learning to take care of myself. My eyes were finally opened to the true nature of addiction. I began to see addiction not as a choice, but as a complex disease. That was a pivotal turn in my journey. There was a time when I thought addiction was a matter of willpower, a choice that the addict in my life was consciously making. But as I delved deeper into the Al-Anon program, I came to understand that addiction is a disease, a complex interplay of physical and emotional factors. This new understanding was a revelation. It allowed me to separate the person I cared about from their addiction. I could see them not as the addict, but as the person they truly were beneath the shadow of the disease. I began to understand their struggles, their pain, and their fight against the disease. But this didn't mean that I turned a blind eye to their behavior. On the contrary, this understanding allowed me to set boundaries. I learned to assert myself, to say no when necessary, and to set limits on what was acceptable behavior. I was able to do this not out of anger or resentment, but out of love and compassion. It was a balance, a delicate dance of love and firmness. And it was this balance that helped me maintain my own peace and sanity while still supporting the person I cared about in their struggle against addiction. Understanding addiction as a disease has allowed me to care for myself and the addict in my life in a healthier, more compassionate way. As I continued my journey with Al-Anon, I discovered the importance of self-care and compassion. It's easy to get caught in the turbulence of someone else's addiction, to forget about your own needs. But I learned that I couldn't help anyone if I didn't take care of myself first. This meant setting aside time for self-reflection, for rest, and for doing things that I loved. It meant saying no when I needed to, and yes when it was right for me. It meant acknowledging my feelings and seeking help when I needed it. Compassion, too, became a cornerstone of my life. Compassion for the addict in my life, struggling with their disease. Compassion for others in the Al-Anon community, each with their own stories, their own pain. And most importantly, compassion for myself, for the mistakes I had made, for the times I had been less than perfect. Instead of beating myself up, I learned to forgive myself, to understand that I was doing the best I could given the circumstances. And with self-care and compassion, I was able to navigate the tumultuous waters of addiction with a little more grace, a little more peace. Because at the end of the day, that's what Al-Anon is all about. It's about finding peace amidst the chaos, about learning to dance in the rain. Thank you for joining us at the Builders of the Mystic Circle for Al-Anon members. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification button. If you have an interest in joining Al-Anon, go to al-anon.org.